So no summer travel holidays in the U for U.S. travelers, at least not just yet. For more on this, let me turn to Kim Goldstein, a travel consultant and president of Journeys, Inc. She joins us live from Richmond, Virginia. Kim, the fact that we have EU barring American travelers doesn't really come as a big surprise, considering the soaring cases in the U.S. In Europe, things have gotten better. In the U.S., this whole situation with coronavirus has not gotten better.
No, it's definitely not a surprise at all, especially as our numbers continue to rise here.
So the list is expected to be reviewed every 2 weeks. How likely is it that it's going to change for American travelers anytime soon?
I don't think it's going to change until our numbers start dropping dramatically. Right now, each country really has to protect themselves and their citizens in order to maintain their levels. So it's really important that they do the right thing from a health perspective. And right now in the United States, it's not very good.
So of course there's the health perspective, but there's also the political and economic implications of this. American tourists spent some $67 billion in the European Union last year.
Yes, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. A big part of our market for travel is typically summer travel over to Europe, spring as well. So unfortunately, at this point, those two seasons have pretty much been knocked out completely. We hope down the road that those will continue to pick up later in the year towards holiday and next spring.
So Americans are still allowed to travel to Ireland and Britain. So technically speaking, if they do that and they go through the 14-day quarantine in those places, could they, hypothetically speaking, travel to other parts of Europe from there?
I think it could happen. It just depends on how Europe is tracking that and what mechanisms they have in place. I do think the 14-day quarantine is a huge deterrent for many, just for many leisure travelers who are just going for fun. They're not going to quarantine for 14 days and then start their vacation.
Travel now during this pandemic, especially overseas travel, is discouraged based on government guidelines. But even when things get a little bit better in this country, do you see Americans jumping on the plane and traveling to Europe for fun?
Down the road, I think when the numbers start to improve, yes, I do. We're actually starting to see our first travelers this week leaving the country. They're doing things a little closer to home, like Mexico and the Caribbean. But as far as more long haul travel, I think that the numbers are really going to have to drop for people to be willing to stay on a plane that long.
Yeah, it is a risk after all. Kim Goldstein, thank you so much.